Okay, fuel additive on a 407. Jack up the passenger side. Okay, obviously safely. Anyway, come down underneath. Get out of the way. Okay, there's a panel on the floor, goes along here. Okay, I popped that off, and just here is a fuel additive tank. There is a panel there that's got to be removed. Up inside here there's a nut, 10mm, and you've got to remove the 10mm, and it looks, I've done that. And then there's a small plastic one here, you can see, which you've got to remove there. And I think then it should detach itself. Okay. I'm just going to pan that out just so you can see the kind of area that it's in. That's the rear passenger wheel. There you go. And that is a sum total of the tank there. It's actually set slightly below the fuel tank, so you can see the difference. That's a full fuel tank there. That's your active tank just there. On the other side of the tank you've got, just below this metal thing here, there's your sensor feed tube to the tank. Okay. Okay, this tube here I've already removed, but you push the two white things in, clips, equally both sides. So you push them in and out a bit to free them up, because they get mud and stuff in them, and so they don't work. But anyway, just remove that. Mind, because there's fluid in that tube, and you don't want to get it on yourself or any of it into the environment. So I've got a tray just to catch anything below. Okay, next bit. Okay, you have to buy one of these kits. All sorts of bits in there, and a tube. That's a fluid, 4.5 litres. It's quite a big tank, so I'm not sure how much it takes, but we'll see. But it's 4.5 litres. It's going to cost you about 100 quid at the moment. Anyway, now we've got to connect that up to the tube we've disconnected and fill the tank. Okay, so I've taken the plug that fits into the connection below, and I've got myself a clean, what would be a gearbox oil container, and I've joined a rubber tube to it. The kit tube wasn't big enough really to fit the connections. So anyway, idea being is we get the fluid and pour it into there. I've hung it on a board so it doesn't damage the car or spill on the car. Anyway, going down, we then come underneath again. What I've done is there's the tube we disconnected, and if I can show you this foam. I've just tucked this up there so it's higher than the tank itself, and then my rubber tube is here going round up into the connection which was with the kit, and that basically feeds to the top of the tank there. Now if you've got enough fluid, when you fill the tank up, if you hang a container just below, when you fill enough, the fluid will come back out of here, kind of like a level plug, but it's not necessary to fill it right to the brim. So we put 4.5 litres in. The car was showing low fuel additive, and it's taken 4.5 litres of fluid, but it could have been showing low fuel for a long time and the tank was probably empty. But anyway, so it may take less than that, so go careful. Always hang a container on here to catch any fluid that comes back out. But if you tap the tank, it now sounds full because I filled the tank now with the 4.5 litres, so it sounds different. When you tap the tank, it actually sounded empty before. Anyway, so there you go. Okay, so that's basically that bit done. So you disconnect this from your tube here and then put it onto there, put it back securely, and then you just put your panels back on. Now the next bit is to reset the computer. Okay, here we go. This is a computer bit on the 407 for the additive. You won't be able to see much, it's got dark. Ugh. British winters for you. Okay, here we go. This is a bit down here. Now if I just put the light there a moment, there's the plug down there. It's underneath the console. So there's a gear stick, handbrake there, gear stick up front, console. There's your plug in to your computer. Okay, so there's a bit of kit here you get on the internet. It's basically Peugeot Citroen plug-in. It works off the PP2000, it's Planet 2000, and Diag. You can buy the computer and all the software and the lead, all is a going thing. It does cost you about 250 quid with the computer, or 300 quid, but you know, if you're doing a lot of this, you're going to get your money back. Preloaded, it's quite good. I've loaded this, and in some ways it was a nightmare to load, but now it's up and going, all well and good. Anyway, let's get plug this in. So okay, you get the plug, and I'm gonna have to apologize for the actual quality of this, but as long as it helps you, because we've got to computer a bit. So you basically now switch the ignition on the car. So you got ignition and your little display in the middle. Go to laptop. I've actually turned around and I've already entered the program. You just come up to Ecu Configuration and come down to the bottom corner. Okay it. Have to go back, I'm afraid, on this one, because I picked the wrong thing, because we put the fluid in. You got to go for replacement parts. I'll do that. There you go. Okay, up we come. So we've got a list there. Okay, engine and gearbox is next because it's part of that system. Okay, big long list here. Go right down to the bottom, and somewhere down here we're going to come up with that. Here we go, diesel fluid. So we choose that one. I'll get my little arrow down here. Okay, and then it's doing its system checks and configuration. So we okay that, configure. Okay, so configure. Okay, manual configure is easier. So manual configure, it says it gives you a list. So you got cleaning or replacement of the particle filter. We don't need that. We just come down to filling the reservoir. Now what happens now is we come down to here and okay, that gives you a long list. Well, long list, a list. If it's a minimum warning light comes on, this is how you redo it. Fill the additive reservoir, we've done that. Reset the total quantity injected from the reservoir to 0. It will do that for you, and it says disconnect the PC. Within the next minute, open the fuel tank cap for more than 5 seconds, and then close it. So basically, the next thing you do is you go down to here, and you click OK, and it will show you this. It's configuring it, so it says reset to 0 the total quantity of thing additive injected into the reservoir. Okay, 0 reset carried out. All right, so basically it's done that for you. So you've got 1 minute now to then disconnect. So we come down here and I just pulled it USB out. I come out of the car, come to the fuel cap, undo it. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. That should be plenty. Okay, pop the cap back in. Okay, that's the job done. Okay, so there's no more to be done as far as I know. When you turn the ignition on, your display will no longer display the low additive. So what we'll do as well, because normally it will display it within a few seconds of you starting the car. So there we have it. The car started. It's telling me it's cold out. It is cold out, and it's dark. And there you go. There's a date, Wednesday the 1st of January 2003, which it's not. So there you go. You have to reset the piece onboard computer. And there you have it. There we go. There's that. So there you go. Yeah, front right hand door, risk of ice. And like I say, within the first few seconds it normally flashes you additive level low. It hasn't done that, so I'm assuming we've got it reset. Okay.